Chicago Hill FDR Community Housing Foundation. Today is another episode of a successful young person on the show. And Meleika, how's your Independence Day gearing up for Independence Day? I know we celebrated Juneteenth. Are you celebrating the Independence Day?
You know, I don't really get into 4th of July. Not
Oh,
like when I was a kid.
yeah,
I think once I started learning more of our history, I don't too much. I mean, it's just fun to
yeah,
get
that's
with
right.
family, and yeah,
It
yeah.
is. I know there's a lot to be said about whether or not black people should celebrate Independence Day, but you know me, I want everything America has to offer its people, and I want to be rewarded for all the things that our ancestors did to help build this country, and Independence Day is one of those things that I believe, truly believe that black people from America that's here in America, that their ancestors really helped build this country. Therefore, we should celebrate Independence Day and everything
That's
that it actually affords us. It really affords
that
us the
is true.
opportunity to fight for a better country and better conditions for all of us. You know?
You are right about that. I mean, it's you breaking it down like that. Now, I like waving the flag. You
Hey,
got your flag out
yeah.
on your front porch.
Oh, my front porch is lit up with banners and everything, and I'm gonna celebrate the Independence Day with the family, and we're gonna do it. Speaking of making sure that we celebrate Independence Day, we have some guests here, and I'm sure they have some stuff to say about a lot of stuff,
A lot
especially
of stuff.
especially the young lady that's right before us. You want to introduce our guest?
My turn?
M- m-
Absolutely. So my name is Lola Samuel. I'm mom to Cherie Animashaun. The staff location. You wanted me to share a little bit about background. I was born here in the States. One of five siblings. My parents are Nigerian, so they went back to Nigeria when myself and my younger brother were babies. So we literally spent 16, 7 years in Nigeria, came here to go to college when it was time to go to college, and stayed ever since. I do visit Nigeria back, if on and off, on and off, not as much as I would like to, but I was able to go there 3 years ago, which was great timing. But just being here, and I think very, very proud here of Cherie. From a young age, she's really liked to help people. She really loves to help. Very great with kids. I think even when she was, 9 years old, she had a group of girls that she was all younger girls that she was always coaching, always helping, baking, cooking. I think at such a young age, she was really interested in kids, and kids are very drawn to her. I think it makes sense to kind of see where she has grown. She's kept that passion, starting a non for profit, helping young girls really just find their passion, help them succeed, help keep them encouraged, and really help and give back to the community is something that is very, very dear to Cherie. So I'm really excited to see how that she's accomplished. She's doing great work. She's getting to know people, and everyone is always amazed at how she's 17 going on 18, but if you see her, she looks much, much older just because of the depth, I think, of the depth of her love for children. She really cares about people, starting from family. I have a toddler as well. She's always like second mom to the toddler, so she really has a passion for helping others and really giving back and putting a smile on everybody's face. One of the good memories, and I always cherish, is times when she'll make me breakfast in bed.
oh,
She'll make pancakes and
Oh,
bacon and eggs, and she'll bring it, with a smiley face, strawberries, and always wanted to encourage me. So I'm really proud of her and proud of what she's accomplished, and I know that the sky is not even the limit for her. So
well,
we
Mom,
not gonna do.
that's pretty
I'm just
good.
continuing.
Before we get to Sharice, let us just get a little culture about Nigeria.
Yes.
Coach, what's the Nigerian culture like? And what is it like in Nigeria? Let's talk about the country where you're at over there and what it's like there. What goods are Nigerians known for producing? And then what is the culture like here in America? How is it different?
I want to say, and Cherie could feel free to chime in. Nigeria is really all about family and culture and food and getting together. I think, when I think about, in home, I think about just a rich culture of togetherness. I think every birthday, every weekend is always, and I think an excuse for families to get together and cook and laugh. Even if you don't, whether you have a lot, whether you have a little, I think it's just this spirit of sharing and bringing people together and really having a good time and helping as much as people, helping the people that are needy, feeding the people that, that have a lot. I think it's just that culture of togetherness. And I think it's something that I'm always, it's been very important for me to keep, even in the US. Because life gets busy with work, with all the chores running around with children. Sometimes you can kind of forget, especially with COVID, the pandemic that we've had to, survive and still getting over since 2020. It's really been a challenge to be together. So trying to get that to getting us back and really giving back.
So what communities really you could see the reflection of Nigerian culture in Illinois, let's say Chicago or surrounding areas? Where could we experience the Nigerian culture?
Everywhere, a lot on the north side of Chicago. So even in Chicago, there are a lot of Nigerian restaurants on the north side. The new ones, they're well established ones. Rice is a mainstay of Nigeria. It's always, everything goes with rice. There's a lot of rice and soup and plantain and fish and meat. Whenever you see Nigerians, it's all about eating and drinking and having fun.
That's
You know,
great.
cooking together.
I think I would enjoy Nigeria. I have friends from Nigeria, and all of them told me, and let me know if this is true of your family as well, that before when their mom is in them, they already know they've already chosen their career for them. So
Yes.
you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a lawyer. So did you do the same for Cherie?
I didn't as much, but when I was growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. I think in Nigeria, just because you see a lot of poverty and you also see a lot of people that are also rich, there's inequality, right? So I think every kid grows up wanting not to be poor. Everybody wants to be rich. And when you think about the titles that make a lot of money, you're looking at doctors, lawyers, engineers. So I think every kid in their head are just thinking, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, because I want to be rich. But I think coming back, I actually wanted to be a doctor. I ended up being a banker, but I did not put the same pressure on her. I think I just really wanted her to kind of follow her passion and help people. And I think I raised that thinking money is not the most important thing.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's great. So now we know that you really influenced her in ways she didn't know. What are you going to major in when you go to college? Because you are a rising senior, we're going to start there and then we'll go all over the place. What's going to be your major?
Yeah, so I'm planning to major in public policy with a concentration in education or politics.
Oh, very nice. And
Wow.
are you targeting, let's see, this is your junior year, so you probably took the ACT. Are not asking your scores. Are you targeting any schools at this point?
I'm keeping an open mind, but I'm looking at schools in Boston and Washington, D.C.
Okay, very good. We would
Awesome.
love to support you with letters of support and recommendations. But Meleika, how long have you known her? I mean, it's great to have her on the show. You want to go ahead and introduce her from your point of
Well,
view?
I've been seeing Cherie's name throughout Evanston, and I'm like, who is this young lady? Who is she? And she had asked me to come be a part of one of her events, and unfortunately, at that time, I had some health issues and I couldn't attend. But I was like, she has to be on our show. I read her history. This young woman wrote a book at 12 years old,
But I'm still
and
trying to
she
get a
has.
book deal, write a book. Oh Lord, you know what, Malika? And then, you know, the problem with
Yes.
this show with young people is every week we get people on here, they've already outdone
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Congratulations. Go ahead, Meleika.
Yes, definitely add her to that list. And she has like a book series which she's going to talk to us about. And she also started her own nonprofit organization, Her Rising Initiative, that's helping women and children. And I mean, she hasn't even graduated high school yet, and she's already pouring into the world. I mean, I would love to hear a 12-year-old writing a book. Like, was Lola, did you come in the room? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on in here? I know that had to have been different.
I know when she was younger, actually younger than that. I think you were 10 maybe. She started with this book. She would just write things down, things down. And I think after she did that a couple of years, I was a little bit even slow up and get it together. But finally, she always wanted to tell me. She was always like, I want to make sure I write a book by 10. So
Mhm.
I think she's had that book for about a year and a half. Finally, I kind of got it together. Like, let me see. Let's see what you're talking about. And finally, we got in our network at church, we had a publisher. So we got
Hmm.
together with her and she was able to, get it going and make it into a book. But she started as such a, she's always learned. I know one thing that I remember was when she was very young, we went to the library every weekend. We were in Evanston
Oh,
then, so we'll go to Evanston Library and we'll just sit there for an hour every weekend. So I think she kind of just picked up a love for reading and writing, and a lot of teachers in her life also
yes.
as well.
Yes. Well, Cherie, tell us about tell us about your first book, and
Hmm.
then tell us about the book series. I think you have it with you, so people
Yeah, so
can take a look.
I have one of the books from the book series,
Okay.
Compass, which is right here. But the book that we're talking about from when I was 12 was actually a lesson plan book, so it had a bunch of curriculum. Because I had been teaching at my church, like my mom said, since I was 9, and then I like fell in love with that. I would bring like science experiments. I'd bring like new things each week. So then eventually I just put it into a book at age 12, and that's called Growing with God. So it's a curriculum book for teachers in ministry. So anyone from pastors to someone who just wanted to teach their own kids about God could use that book. And then later on, now, like in my junior year, last year, I made the Compass series. So this is just one of them. This is the one for adults, but the one for teenagers is like purple and it's more glittery. But it's all about just helping youth and also women with their mental health. My junior year was like right after COVID had canceled and like shut down all our schools. So I was used to helping a lot of friends with their mental health because everyone was going through something different during the pandemic. And I just wanted to have something all in one place that people could use to journal, to release tension, to release stress. And that's how Compass came to life.
Hmm.
Wow. Rep Ford, you and Cherie have a lot in common. One, I mean, she's going to be going, sounds like looking into to politics at some point, but you were studying to be a priest. She's writing books to help parents with introducing God to children. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, again, I was not thinking like that at 12 years old.
What
I
is
did write a lot though.
what is Girls Who Lead? Is that the name of your organization?
Not quite. So my organization is called Her Rising Initiative, but Girls Who Lead is the statewide event that I created this year. So that's where we've been teaching girls all over Illinois, whether they're in Chicago, in Evanston, Skokie, in Homewood, Illinois. We've been teaching them STEM, we've been teaching them arts, and this August we'll be teaching them law as well. So pretty much this event, we're trying to make all of these things accessible to girls in the area because you can't really, no other place teaches like a 12-year-old law in the state. So we wanted to make sure that girls who had like a dream like I did at an early age had that support. So Girls Who Lead is the event. We had one in May and we're doing it again in August.
So you also do scholarships?
Yes, that's also a part of Her Rising initiative. So, Her Rising is trying to break down all of the barriers that we can find. And I know that for, especially since I'm going through the scholarship process now, I know how important scholarships are. So, Her Rising is actually going to be awarding a student a $500 scholarship towards college in the fall.
That's great. Are you exempt? You can't apply? You know.
No, I do not plan to apply, but I've been reading through the applications and it really gives me hope.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an amazing young woman. And Cherie, you attend Niles West, correct? You don't attend Evanston Township.
Yeah, I attended Evanston Township for 2 years, but then once we moved to Skokie, I had to go to Niles West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, all that you're doing. I mean, as a young lady, what challenges do you see? Do you experience racism in the world that you live in? Do you deal? How do you deal with it if you do?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that I've definitely faced is just being undermined and also being underestimated. I faced that at a young
Mm.
age, and I think it always that probably angered me the most. One being underestimated because I do happen because like the color of my skin, but then also being underestimated because of my gender. It's not until like I take the time to explain everything that I'm doing that people think, oh, okay, like you are worthy or you can do this. So I do think that was definitely challenging at first, that people would look at me and undermine me, and that I felt like I had to prove myself. And then also just mentoring so many girls, especially right now, I've definitely seen that reoccurring. A lot of girls feel that way. So I'm just trying to like remind them that first of all, you are worthy regardless of what you accomplish, and then second of all, prove them wrong.
Absolutely.
I love that.
She's powerful, inspirational. I would tell you, just for the record, no matter, there is a certain level that black people, brown people have to overcome. But no matter who you are in the world, be prepared to prove yourself. And it is much, we do have to prove ourselves sometimes more than others because of the color of our skin. But everybody's got to prove themselves, which means that, of course, you already know. You remind me of the new Supreme Court Justice, Judge Jackson. Did you follow her?
I absolutely do. I actually just finished writing an essay about her. So
Oh,
yeah.
see, I mean, I read you well. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. You kept saying undermine. Like, name some situation where you felt undermined and how did you deal with it? Like, specific.
Yeah, so I think the most recent one I can think of is I do like a lot of college classes, just like experiment in different courses. And I think the first one I really started doing was at Northwestern, and I started that in like 6th and 7th grade. And the first thing I noticed is I would walk in and I would be the only black person or I'd be the only girl in there. And I think, and I guess that all the audience, like all the students, forgot that in order to even be in that room, you had to be qualified, like you had to go through the application process. But I think at first a lot of people, or at least the students, the kids would think that I wouldn't be good at math or that I wouldn't be good at writing for some reason. So like they would make little jokes or they might tease, and I always brushed it off because I knew that I was capable and that I was there for a reason. But I think that undermining, it definitely happens a lot. It could be in the form of like a microaggression where you just like kind of pass it off, but you see like their intent almost. But I think different like little instances like that have been like an example of undermining.
You clearly know your history, where your family comes from. Do you think that adds to your level of self-esteem and confidence?
Yes, I think just with my family especially, I've been surrounded by so many like successful women. So I think that's definitely changed the way that I view like my culture. I see it as like a very successful culture, and I see the women, Nigerian women especially, is really hardworking, regardless of what job they're doing. It's like just born in them. Like they have this hardworking ability, and they have this love for their people. So I do think that's a big part of my culture, and I do think that as I go into different rooms, I always feel inspired to work harder because of the people in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, as a Nigerian young person, you do have some expectations, a high level expectations. Do you know Amara Enya?
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, she ran for mayor of the city of Chicago, and I ran also at one time. But we were on the same stage. So she's got her PhD and she's got a law degree, and she's got a master's degree. She's got lots of degrees, and a lot of her. She's got a twin sister. I think a lot of them have lots of degrees, and they got this brother, and he only has one degree. And I'm like, dude, you are embarrassing the family. So, how many degrees are you going to have?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. At a young age, not that my family told me, but all the women in my church have multiple degrees. And they always told me, Cherie, you are going to get your PhD. So I actually am going for a PhD.
That's great. That's fantastic. I'm looking at some more stuff. Executive Director of Innovate. What's Innovate?
Yeah, so Innovate is, I saw like a really stark wealth gap. So I wanted to at least try and tackle that some way. And the best way I could think of was to at least start with the kids, because they will be the ones who run all the major companies one day. And with that, Innovate is pretty much teaching kids financial literacy. It's teaching them entrepreneurship, but it's doing that for free. When I was younger and like I had dreams about starting a business, there was always a program called Launch X. It's a really great program, but then when I went to apply, the fee's like $3,000. And I definitely did not want to invest that much into it, but then I started thinking of how many other kids have really good ideas for like a business, for a company, and are willing to pay like that much of a fee. So I created Innovate, which is free.
Oh my goodness. And your community relations and strategic partnership, you did an intern at Niles Township High School. What was that like?
Yeah, so currently I'm interning at the district. So this is all 4 schools, which includes my high school, Niles West, Niles North, Niles Central, and Bridges Adult Transition Center. So I started the internship in March of this year. It had a lot to do with graphic design, and since I work with an editing and publishing company, I felt like qualified, or at least wanted to learn more in that field. But I'm still in that position right now, and it's been teaching me a lot about marketing. I do a lot of interviewing of adults around the district. We were just at the Juneteenth event a couple days ago.
And then we have you balanced here, because here you coach and youth advisory board member at the Girls Play Sports. Mm-hmm. What is that?
Yeah. So pretty much I'm just trying
When
to
do you have time to sleep, Cherie? Do you sleep?
Oh, I sleep. I'm definitely sleeping. Yeah, Girls Play Sports, I think that was my first job actually. And with that, I had done Girls Play Sports since I was like 2nd grade. So I was really young when I was in the program, and I loved it. I stuck with it until I got to high school. And then some of the coaches, like my volleyball coach, was like, Cherie, you need to be one of the coaches. And then coaching led into me being on the board. So I'm still on the board today. And we're trying to make sure that girls, especially, keep playing sports. There's a lot of studies that show that once they hit high school, they drop it, or they just don't feel qualified, or it gets too competitive. So we're trying to do that coaching service so they feel qualified, competent, and like ready to keep doing it in high school.
So, Meleika, I just got one more. It's a lot more that I could say about it. I just go one more. You know, first I want to know, do you have enough credits right now to graduate?
Graduate high school?
Yes.
Actually, I do. I think I'm missing 1 credit, consumer ed, but yeah.
So you're gonna just go back and be a senior and get a lot of credits. I mean, because I know you are doing dual credits at Northeastern Illinois University also. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna automatically go into college with college credits too.
Yeah.
What's your goal? How many? How many do you think you're gonna have going in?
I'm not sure, but I did the Northwestern ones when I was younger. I did Northeastern last year, and I'm doing University of Chicago in 2 days.
Wait,
so
Meleika,
sure.
She just said when she was younger.
Yes. This girl, I know. I'm like, life is just beginning, and she's done so much already. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
It makes us feel good, yeah.
Yes. Yes, you're one of our kids now, Cherie.
Thank you.
That we are very, very proud of. Thank you so much for all that you are pouring into other children and inspiring them. And please keep up that energy and that fire. I just feel like, you're going to be an amazing adult, making some things happen. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
I mean, parents, you see, we have an excellent teen here, and it's possible for us to always highlight people just like Cherie here on Chicago Hill FDR Community Housing Foundation. Meleika, you think you could come back and talk about one of your programs? I think we need a whole episode where you're able to really talk about financial literacy. Do you have a program that you could put together, like a 30-minute show where we talk about financial literacy? Because I have a daughter that's 18 now. She's a rising freshman going to college. And in the mail every day, she's getting what's those credit card
Credit
applications.
cards.
Yeah.
They're ready to give her credit right now. And, and I think that we should be talking about how students your age should be opening bank accounts. You need to have a bank account right now, right? I mean, don't you? Is it difficult to open a bank account at 17?
Not at all.
Yeah. And so we definitely would love if you could put together a program, and even if we record it and allow you to put together your program just to teach young people, because Meleika and we could both try to reach the young people with our message. But I mean, when you have someone your age really talking about dual enrollment, talking about financial literacy, talking about the mental health, talking about the strength of the mind and the strength of a woman, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think with adults and kids, sometimes they just kind of see us talking at them. But if they see someone of their age group who has studied and really poured energy into getting this information and sharing it, yeah, they're much more open to listening and receiving that information. So that would be awesome, Cherie, if you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to. I'm used to teaching about financial literacy, so I'm definitely ready.
That sounds good. We only have a few more seconds, but tell us, give us a closing, give a message to your generation. Let's give a message to the adults and to the youth. What do you advise adults dealing with people your age?
Yes, so to all the adults, I would really just advise that when you're thinking of your kid, I think just affirming and encouraging them. I know a lot of parents are proud of their kids, but you have to be more vocal about it, especially in this time when we have a lot of pressure, a lot of fears, and a lot of doubt surrounding us. I think just encouraging the kids around you, whether they're your kids, your friends' kids, your students, just continuing to affirm them. There's a lot of pressure on us, but just affirming that they are worthy and that they are possible of doing anything that they dream of. And to the kids, you are definitely possible of doing anything you dream of.
Wow, you're magnificent, and I would have to give you a grade off the charts. This has been another episode
Yes.
of FDR Community Housing Foundation, and Meleika has the final word.
Yes, we have some amazing youth out there. I know the news only portrays the negative, but here on Chicago Hill on Youth Fridays, you see what's really going on. We've got youth that are going to take over the world, doing amazing things. And thank you so much for your time today, Cherie. And we look forward to you coming back and teaching us financial literacy. I will be paying attention.
All right, thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
guys next time. Bye-bye, Cherie.
Bye.